car be both a track monster and a road legal masterpiece? That's what we're diving into today with the Aston Martin Valkyrie. You guys sent in a ton of articles on this thing, and I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked to dig in.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one for sure. I mean, the Valkyrie isn't just another supercar trying to be flashy, you know. This is Adrian Newey we're talking about.
Yeah.
The guy's a legend in Formula One, designed cars that won championships.
Exactly. So we're already expecting it to push the limits, but does it actually live up to all the hype? That's what we're here to find out.
Well, even the development story is kind of wild. Imagine the kind of insane precision that went into making, say, the Lexus LFA, but take it up like 10 notches. This thing was not easy to get right.
So years of engineering, pushing boundaries, all that, but let's get down to it. What's the Valkyrie packing under the hood?
Oh man, get ready. It's got a 6.5-liter V12 engine developed by Cosworth.
Okay, so far so good, we're in supercar territory. But what makes it special?
It's naturally aspirated, no turbos or anything. This thing just roars to life with over 1,000 horsepower, 1001 to be exact.
Wow, now that's what I call an engine. But it can't just be about raw power,
right? You got it. The hybrid system gives it an extra boost, bringing it up to get this almost 11,140 horsepower, and it is screaming 10,600 RPM.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But something that powerful's got to weigh a ton.
It's no lightweight, that's for sure. Comes in at 1,270 kilos dry weight.
Okay, so we're not talking nimble little sports car here.
True, but the power to weight ratio is still insane. This thing movies.
So we're talking nimble and powerful. And it looks like something out of sci-fi, you know. Is it massive in person?
You'd be surprised. Actually smaller than some of its rivals, like the Ferrari 296 GTB. Adrian Newey's design, you can tell.
All right, so how'd they manage that?
Combination of things, crazy seating position inside, and then those massive Venturatives underneath.
Hold on, those vents aren't just for looks, they're actually functional.
Oh yeah, talking about up to 1,100 kilos of downforce when you're braking hard. Basically the force of a small car pushing the Valkyrie onto the track.
Okay, now you got my attention. But with all that power and tech,
yeah,
what's it actually like to drive?
Oh man, strapping into this thing is an experience. You're not really sitting or like lying down, almost feet up, got that F1 style steering wheel. It screams race car, you know? But here's the thing.
Yeah, what is it? It's actually comfy, because race cars aren't exactly known for being, you know, luxurious.
And you'd be right. Comfort usually takes a back seat in Formula One, literally. But the Valkyrie, it's surprisingly doable even with that hardcore focus on performance.
Okay, color me impressed. But how does a car this intense, basically made for the track, how does it handle everyday driving? Can you, like, run errands in this thing?
Let's just say, it's not your average grocery getter, but it's more versatile than you'd think. Around town, honestly, it's pretty manageable.
Seriously, with that suspension setup?
Yeah. You'd expect it to be rattling your teeth out, but it actually absorbs bumps and stuff better than you'd think.
All right, I'll bite. But the real magic happens when you open this thing up on the open road, right?
Now you're talking. That's where the Valkyrie truly comes alive. Yeah. Steering is so precise, it's almost like telepathic, you know? You think the car does it, and the balance, it's just phenomenal.
I've heard people say it's like an extension of your body. You don't just drive this car, you dance with it. But come on, with that much power, it's got to be a handful.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't a beginner car. But even with that monster engine, it's incredibly stable. The aero, the suspension, it all just works together.
A symphony of speed, huh? And speaking of design, that cockpit, it's like a spaceship. Everything's controlled from the steering wheel, right? Turn signals, suspension, the driving modes. Like a video game.
Pretty much. And those driving modes, they're not just for show. Each one really changes how the car feels. Urban mode to track mode. It's like having different personalities in one machine.
All right, now you gotta tell me about track mode. That's the Unleash the Kraken setting, right? What happens when you hit that button?
Yeah.
All right, now you gotta tell me about track mode. That's the Unleash the Kraken setting, right? What happens when you hit that button?
Oh, let's just say it's like going from a scalpel to a sledgehammer.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Throttle response gets super sharp. Suspension's firm as a rock.
Yeah.
Basically, you're unleashed on the track with, like, the full force of Newey's genius.
Man, that sounds intense. But all that power, you need some serious grip. Which, speaking of, the tires I notice it's running Michelin Cup 2s, aren't those more for the road, not so much track focused?
Good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might think it's a weird choice, but remember, the Valkyrie's trying to do both, right? Track weapon, and road car.
Right. Walk that line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cup 2s give you crazy grip and feedback even when you're pushing it, but they're still manageable for cruising around town.
Yeah.
It's all about that balance.
Makes sense. So you're flying around a track in this thing, pushing the limits. You're going to need some equally impressive drakes to bring you back down to Earth. What's the story there?
So they went with a brake-by-wire system.
Okay, so that's...
Super high-tech stuff. Think of it like power steering, but for your brakes. Makes them crazy responsive.
Gotcha.
But here's the really cool part, how they tuned the ABS. It's designed to kick in really late and subtly.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Means you could brake super aggressively later than you'd think, but you still have total control. No just slamming on the brakes and hoping for the best.
All right, so we've established the Valkyrie is basically a spaceship on wheels, but let's be real. No car's perfect, especially one this extreme. Any quirks, any challenges that come with a car like this?
Well, for one, starting it up ain't like turning a key. There's a whole process, a sequence, like pre-flight checks on a jet or something.
Wow, now that's what I call exclusive. What about battery life? I've heard whispers that it can be a bit,
Yeah, the high-voltage battery, the one for the hybrid system, it can drain kind of quick if you're stuck in traffic.
So not exactly the best commuter car then.
Probably not your ideal rush hour warrior, no.
Yeah.
And then there's the noise.
The glorious V12 roar.
Oh, it's glorious, all right, but man, it's loud. Inside the cabin, too.
Noise-canceling headphones, essential part of the ownership experience.
Pretty much. Or, just enjoy the symphony.
So there you have it, the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Engineering masterpiece, technological marvel. It's really something special.
It really makes you think, what happens when you take all that Formula One knowledge, all that cutting-edge tech, and pour it into a road car? The Valkyrie's the answer.
It really is. Makes you wonder, is this the peak of performance, or is it something else entirely? A statement, a work of art even. Something for you all to think about. Until next time, keep diving deep.